Hi, I'm Terry Olson. I'm the founder and the executive director of Healing Hearts Ministries and Hearts Being Healed conferences. In 2001, God started giving me a vision in little snippets on what He was calling me to do with my life. The first vision, I remember a lot of women in a church, and I was speaking to them. Well, that wasn't hard because that's the gift God gave me. Public speaking, telling stories. So I was all in on that. When He finally got to the last piece and put it together like a puzzle, there's where I had my first Moses moment. I understood now that God wasn't calling me to speak at a conference alone, but He was calling me to actually plan and do a conference. I said, Lord, I've never done a conference. I've never planned. I've never sit on a team that's done that. I have no idea what to do. After that, God gave me the names of 5 women that I knew, and He asked me to meet with them privately. I did that, and each one of them agreed to be on the board of this new ministry. We didn't have a name yet, and none of them knew how to put on a conference either. This was going to be done by blind faith, and I would learn from this that blind faith is really the best way to go. You're totally looking to God to guide and direct you. God also gave me 6 requirements that are very important to this woman's ministry. Number 1, the women are very wounded, so they must be pampered all day long. They must be shown God's love and how they're treated. The number 2 one was you can't charge more than $25 per person. We've never charged more than $20 per person. And let me tell you, you can't put on a conference like this for $20 per person. But again, we rely on God, and He always comes through. The third thing was that my board and worship team had to represent women from several churches. It can't all come from one church. God wanted us to get our nonprofit, and He wanted us to have a board and a worship team that was of the community and bringing those churches together for one purpose, to heal wounded women. The fourth thing was that we could sell nothing at this conference. No t-shirts, no cups, no hats, no tapes, nothing. Okay. The fifth thing was that we were also to use women that are not professionals to tell their stories. This is their opportunity to tell their testimony and to be so blessed and even healed more deeply than they were prior to speaking. The women also had to speak about what we represent: God's reconciliation, His renewing, His healing, and His restoration. Last was where I had my second Moses moment. God said, I must have men there serving. I'm a social worker. God, I said, that won't work. I work with women who have been horribly wounded. They've been beaten. They've been raped. They've been sold. All these things, Lord. Men will scare them to death. They won't come to a conference like that. I really had a Moses moment. I was stomping on the mountain and I was doing all the talking and none of the listening. Took a couple of weeks, but God finally showed me that if godly men did not serve these women, how would they ever trust their Father God in heaven? Jesus Christ, who gave His life for them, who came in a form of a man. They have this disconnect, and the men need to help make that connection again. So these women can open up their hearts, and they can trust in a God that desires their healing, their restoring, their reconciliation, and His purpose for their life. That they would quit living in the past, that they would be able to live in the present and move forward in the future in the way God desires their life to be. You know, we stepped forward. At our first conference, we had 65 women there. That was it, just 65, but it was a great conference, even though we fumbled all the way through it. Now, I'm proud to tell you that this conference brings in over 500 women each year. God has recently retired myself and my husband from our work. And He's asked us now to plant a Hearts Being Healed in every city, in every county throughout the United States of America. We've just had our second Hearts Being Healed in another community and saw a great healing there. We saw an amazing thing happen to that whole community. That was something new for me, but God showed me how He was going to help John and I do that. So I'm asking you to consider Hearts Being Healed, joining together with us in your church. Go on our website, heartsbeinghealed.com. Check out our faith statement, our mission statement, our history. And if you have more questions, please pick up the phone, call me, Terry Olson, 530-520-4253. And I'd gladly meet with you and discuss any concerns you might have. I can even give you names of pastors who can tell you really what Hearts Being Healed does. Thank you for prayerfully considering us. God bless.